Solve prediction problems or comparison problems. Another word, proportion, is when you have two ratios or fractions that are equivalent, like 1/2 is equal to 3/6, or $1 for every 2 boys is equal to $4 for every 8 boys. At the school's book sale, Michael bought 3 books for $6. Darnell bought 5 books for $10. Do these form a proportion? Are they equivalent? Do they equal the exact same thing? Do they spend the same amount? So this is Michael, $6 for 3 books. So I'm writing as a unit price. So that's from price over unit. And Darnell bought $10 for 5 books. Many ways you can do this. I can break it down by dividing by 3. That's 1 book. Divide by 3. That's $2. Then I can build it back up by 5, and get $10. So they are equivalent. That's one way I could do it. Some people do not like that way. Some people do unit rates. I simplify unit cost. So I simplify this by 5. I'm scaling it back by 5, and I get $2 for 1 book. And for this one, I scale it by $2 for 1 book, $2 for 1 book. They are equivalent. So both of them spent $2 for every 1 book or per book. So we are going to be playing a game called Hit the Dot, where you have to find the dots and hit it. See how fast you can do it. So let's say, suppose student 1 hit 15 dots in 30 seconds. If student 1 keeps the same rate, how many dots will he hit in 90 seconds? So these are 2 rate problems. So this is a rate. Dot is comparison of 2 quantities with units. 15 dots in 30 seconds. 90 seconds. So I'm making myself a ratio table. This also could be a proportion too. If it was a proportion, it would look like this. But I like making ratio tables. It's the same thing, by the way. So can you build this up? I can scale it up by 3. By 3, I get 45 dots for 90 seconds. Suppose, let's make it a little harder. One of the students hit an even number of dots in 30 seconds. Who was it? So let's say an even number is 16 dots in 30 seconds. So how many dots will you hit in 45 seconds? Can you scale it from 30 seconds to 45 seconds? I'm not sure. Can we break it down? Then scale it back up. Scale it backward, then forward. Let's scale it backward. So I'm going to divide this by, how could I simplify this? By 4? No, because 4 doesn't go in 30. By 5? No. By 2? Let's try 2. 15. And that's 8. 15. And then I need to scale it forward. How many 15s go to 45? By 3, and I get 24 dots in 45 seconds. So what I did is I scale it backward by dividing by 2. Then I scale it forward by multiplying by 3. So let's practice some questions. Sarah could type 90 words in 4 minutes. That's pretty fast. About how many words do you expect her to type in 10 minutes? So we're going to do a bar diagram. Some of you may like this, some of you may not. There are 3 ways to solve it. You pick which way you prefer. So here's 90 words. We break it down per minute. 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. So we're doing unit rates. How many words can she type every minute, per minute? So 90 broken down in 4 is 2. This goes to 2. Got a remainder, put a 0.0, bring it down. And 4 goes to 25. So it's 22.5 words per minute. 22.5 tenths, or 22.5 words per minute. 22.5 words per minute. But how many minutes does she have to type? 10 minutes. So 22.5 times 10 0, 0, 0, 5, 2, 2, 0, 5, 2, 2, 1. 225 words in 10 minutes. That's one way to do it. Some people like this way. I don't. So I'm going to do ratio table. In ratio or rate table, so we know she can type words, minutes. 90 words in 4 minutes. I need to build it up to 10 minutes. How many 4s go into 10? I don't know. Times 2? No, it's 8. Times 3 is too large. So is it 2.5? You know what? I'm going to scale it backward then. I'm going to divide by 2. I get 45 words for every 2 minutes, which is equivalent to 90 words for every 4 minutes. Oh, now I can scale it up. By 5. 45 times 5 is 225 words in 10 minutes. Some people like that. Some people rather do proportion. I don't know if you realize, but ratio and proportion are the exact same thing. So this is 90 words in 4 minutes. I need to build it up to 10 minutes. Can 4 build up to 10? No, I have to simplify this or break it down. Break it down by dividing by 2, divide by 2, and I get 45 over 2. Now I build it up by 5, and 225 words for every 10 minutes. These are very similar. So Mr. Joe cut 20 yellow roses, because from 4 bushes. At this rate, how many roses will Mr. Joe cut from 10 bushes? Yellow is Tyra's favorite color, Yellow Rose of Texas and all. So I try to help her move from, I think she lives in New York, down here. So can 4 be built up to 10? I don't think so. However, can I scale it backward by dividing by 2? 60 roses in 2 bushes is equivalent to 120 roses, 4 bushes. I scale it forward, 300 yellow roses from 10 bushes. In a survey, 3 out of 5 people prefer jelly over peanut butter. Why? There are 120 people shopping at a grocery store. Use a survey to predict how many people in the store would prefer peanut butter. How many people would prefer peanut butter? How many people like peanut butter? So 3 out of 5. So if I have 5 stick figures, these 3 like jelly. These 2 like peanut butter. So 2 people out of 5 people like peanut butter. I have to build it up to 120 people. How do you build 5 to 120? I don't know. Times something. You know what? I'm going to do a slow build up. I'm going to do to 10. How do you build 5 to 10? Times 2. Times 2, that's 4. Now I want to build it up by 12. By 12. Oh, 48 people out of 120 like peanut butter. Do you see how I built it up? I'm sure I could have built it up by 24 right away and got to these answers, but why can't I just do a slow build up, a slow scale up? Again, how do you write it as a proportion? It's the same thing. So you do 2 PB, 5 PPL. I need to build it up to 120 PPL. A proportion is same thing like a ratio table, it's just more concise. Can 5 be built up to 120? Well, you know what? I'm going to do a slow build up by 2. By 2 be 4 and 10. So 4 peanut butter, 10 people. Then I do a build up by 12, and I get 48 peanut butter out of 120 people. Grant can wash 4 windows in 30 minutes. At this rate, how many windows can he wash in 2 hours? 2 hours. Is there another way to say 2 hours equivalent? An hour has 60, another hour has 60, so it's 120 minutes. So how do you build up 30 minutes to 120? Times 4, scale up. 16 windows is the answer. Now choose which method you prefer. Do you like the ratio table? Do you like proportion? It doesn't matter. Or do you like the bar diagram? There are 12 boys and 8 girls in Mr. Thomas' class. At this rate, if there are 800 students at the school, how many will there be girls? So they're asking how many girls from 800 students. So girls from 800 students. Well, we know there are 800 students. Do we know how many girls are there from 800 students? Let's see what we started with. We started with 8 girls, and there's 12 boys. Do I need that 12 boys? Do I need to write down that 12 boys? No. It's part of students. So we're doing part to whole. So there are 8 girls to how many students? 12 plus 8 are 20 students. Now, so there's 8 girls out of 20 students. Can I build it up to 800 students? I can do a slow build up by 5, and I get 100 students and 40 girls. Then I do another build up by 8, and I get 320 girls out of 800 students or girls. So this is a little harder. What we've been doing previously are all part to part. The numbers are already written for you, and you just list it down. But this one you have to deduce. All right, it's asking about girls out of the number of students. A lot of kids get this wrong because they think they have the 12 had to go somewhere. Let's try another one of that type of example, part to whole. In a bag, the ratio of oranges to apples is 3 to 7. Based on this ratio, how many oranges are in the bag if there are a total of 50 fruits? So 50 is the total. They want to know how many oranges there are. So let's see, they gave us there are 3 oranges to 7 apples. So we know there's 3 oranges, but total, how many fruits are in that original bag? 10 total. Build it up by 5, build it by 5. So 15 out of every 50 fruits, part to whole, 15 oranges out of the total of 50 fruits are oranges. And that's about it. So in proportion, setting up, you need to use the labels, write down the labels so you can be neat. I personally like doing ratios and rate tables. I think they're very neat, easy to build up. But proportion, which are these, are the exact same thing. It's just more concise. Some people like the bar diagram where they like breaking up the information into unit rates, then building up. So you pick which one you like best.